I'm clicking the button so fast I'm messing up stuff. Anyway, hi. Welcome to the show. We're gonna do the finally do the manhood show tonight. The manly man. What makes a manly man, which is like a man amongst men? Well, is in our case when we start looking at the guys of today, it's more like, who's a man and who's just not a frog boy. And I think the numbers of frog boys far outnumber the ones who are not. But I got some interesting comments from you ladies on the wall about on the community wall on here on YouTube about what you think makes a manly man. And I talked to a couple of guys. They just had like no clue. I mean, the stuff that they said was just so basic. And I said, okay, well, when you have, the things that you're saying, I mean, women do those things too. So are they manly men? And then they just looked at me dumbfounded. We'll go into that in a minute. But I've given this a lot of thought. As you know, I started planning this show probably about, I don't know, 6, 8 weeks ago, and it was scheduled a couple of times and had to be rescheduled. So tonight we're finally going to do it. I welcome you ladies in a minute. I would like to get your comments on something I forgot to ask you. What kind of behaviors are not manly? So we want to, kind of put those out there because I think a lot of guys don't understand that what they do is a turnoff to women. It makes us think that, there's something wrong with them. They're childish, immature, like a waste of time, a frog boy. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Heard that video, right? That they're just kind of useless and not really. Why does this light keep doing this? They're not really what a woman is looking for in a man to be a husband and father and life partner and all of that kind of stuff, something she can depend on. So the guys, I think a lot of them are being raised now with no father, not even any other positive real male role model, and they just really don't have a clue about what it means to go from boyhood to manhood. Just because your body changes physically, your hormones, you get, hair different new places, and your voice deepens and all that kind of stuff, that doesn't make you a man. That makes you like a male, an adult male, that's for sure. But manhood is a process. It's like it's something that you have to strive for. You have to work at it. You don't just get it because you say, "Well, I'm a man." No, 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 no. No, that's not how it works. There are certain standards that you have to meet, and this is worldwide, that you have to meet certain behaviors you have to exhibit, certain kinds of attitudes that you have to have mentally, certain strengths and practices and attitudes and behaviors and all of these things come together, and those are the things that make you a manly man, a man that other men even look up to. Okay. Okay, so yeah, let's get started here. I wanted to get the ladies to tell me some things that you think are not manly. Hey, lady boss. Yeah, I don't know how much of a party this gonna be. Somebody's feelings is probably gonna end up hurt. Not y'all's, but maybe because if you're a woman and you raising a son and you're raising him, you're not thinking about any of this kind of stuff, to these kind of values to instill in your boy. You're raising a frog boy. He's gonna be a dusty bum. So but if he's still young, you still got time to work on it and fix it. But if he's already a teenager and you haven't instilled these values in him and his daddy is a knucklehead, well then we gonna have a problem. And he's gonna end up being you know, just somebody that we talk about on this show on Friday night. Yes, Frog Boys, honey, they are just like all over the place. Just like, ooh. Okay, so now some of the things that manly men are not, according to the ladies in the chat room: abusers. That's not manly. Whiny, negative men. Oh, I'm in full agreement there. Uh, Men that are unemployed, men that are petty. Okay, when he can't keep a job, is really lazy, very unattractive, and not manly at all. Oh yes, absolutely. Then they start with that "let me hold $20" thing. You can hold. How about you hold a resume? That's what you need to hold, my brother, and a bus pass, so you can get around and do some interviews. Cause you ain't driving my car. Likes to argue with women. Oh my God, that is like way up there. Yeah, yeah. Being inconsistent in word and action is not manly. Saying his feelings are that because of my answer about anything is no. Oh, as soon as I heard, I'm sorry. Uh, can I do another show on inmates? Oh no, why? I've already covered that. What you gonna say? They still in jail? Ain't nothing new going on. The only thing I might want to do there is talk to some of the women who deal with them. Now I was doing that. I was looking for some guests there, but nobody wanted to be on camera, so then I just shelved it. When he had no drive in life. Oh yes, this list will be long. I want to hear because I'm going to go through and I'm going to tell you, we're going to share what some of the traits of manhood really are. He makes promises you cannot keep. Oh, that is my number one pet peeve. Don't say you going to do something and then you don't do it. That will just get you stabbed, especially if I'm trying to depend on you. Men who think they are the prize. Oh, yes. Worrying about what women do and where and arguing about women on social media. Yes, Lord have mercy. They're extremely insecure about nothing. But that's going to be our show next week. We're going to talk about insecure men and what to do if you have one. Men who cheat. Yep. Men who live off of women. Yep. Men who want to be chased and courted. Yep. Men who are convicts and felons. Absolutely. Being severely inconsistent. I'm like inconsistent at all. You don't have to be severe. Being a bully, no, that's any kind of liars. We call them frog boys, Miss Obsidian. They're called frog boys here on this channel. That's what you saw earlier. We call them frog boys. Uh, Men that compare themselves to and compete with women. Yeah, compare yourselves and compete with somebody that has some testosterone. Why don't you? Uh huh. Expecting women to be the fixer. Yep. They protest courting women and the finances required to do so. They want a 50-50 roommate, but they want a forever girlfriend. Yep. Oh, Lord, Clarissa came out with it. Any kind of hotep. But that's only in the black community. But yes, you're right. I cannot with them. Hood men who live with their mothers or other women, homosexuals. They just hop from bed to bed, pillar to post. Oh, you will, Julie? But Julie, send me an email to survivingdating@gmail.com with your contact information and we'll set that up. Uh, Men who use the "I'm so busy" excuse. Yep. Men who want to be the new women. Yep. Oh, you guys are rolling out. What is there for me to say? Deadbeat daddies, all of this. All of this. Pretends to be someone he isn't. That's right. He's not authentic. Men with a fake tan. Okay. That's a new one. They talk down about their baby's mamas. Yeah, disrespectful. Okay. Having children they don't take care of financially or physically. Oh yeah. All of this. Okay, y'all done just name like everything that's except for, don't cross put his arm hand over his heart when he top salutes the flag. Yeah, they don't take care. Oh, their teeth. Oh, well, any kind of grooming that they don't do is just ridiculous. Yeah, no addicts, liars, cheaters, all of that. Okay, well, you guys, broken eggplant, girl. All of these things are on my list, so it just shows. See, we on the same page here. So first, let me start. Let me start by showing you. Uh, I asked for some pictures of manly men. I thought I would get more than what I got, but I only got a couple. But I'm still going to show them to you. Okay. Oh, wait. How do I do this? Shoot, I haven't done a slideshow in so long, I almost forgot how to do it. Okay, there we go. Ooh, this is, I was struggling there for a minute. Okay, these are the two pictures that came in. The guy on the left was sent by my friend Keisha, and I forgot who sent me the other one. One of those European cops, like Finland or somewhere over there. That's how they dress, and it's just like, oh my God. So, that's Keisha's idea of a manly man. She likes the mean looking dudes, but she's out of New York, so I guess that goes hand in hand. That guy wouldn't really do too much for me as far as me wanting to like be with him. But, he does exude masculinity. So, as far as that goes, it's not like you look at him and think he's like some punk or something. He looks like he could take care of business, that he got his stuff together. He's some artistic type or musician, maybe, or something. I don't know. I don't know these people. And then the other guy, he looks large and in charge. Look, he got his little 5 o'clock shadow beard working, that strong jawline. His body's built up. His skin is nice. His nails are clean. It's just, that's a nice looking little piece of manhood right there. I'm telling you. That's why the caption is so funny. It's like, apparently, if you leave the house, he will arrest you. I'm off to the shops. Does anyone want anything? I was screaming. Okay, so let me get into some of the things that you ladies posted or as to what constitutes manhood in your eyes. What you look at for the qualities you look at for a man to possess for him to be considered a manly man in your eyes. And keep in mind, people listening to this, most of my listeners are in their mid 20s to mid 40s. So that's, prime mating age for women, and this is what women are looking at. PT says, to me, a man is manly when he knows exactly what he wants and devises a plan to get it. Can I get an amen? They always talking about you won't follow me. Where we going, Negro? And then they don't have, there's some vague, esoteric, airborne little idea. No, 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 no. I need plans. I need step by step. I need to see like a business plan. I need to see a map. I need to know where, if I sign on with you, where's we going? They can't do that. She says a man is manly when he can control his sexuality while making it known that he's extremely attracted to you, but he wants to build a foundation first. A manly man respects himself and values his man parts. He knows he's not for everybody. A man is manly when he knows his role as a man is to protect and provide, and he does it. A man is manly when he's not afraid of his feminine side and being vulnerable. A man is manly when he says what he means and he means what he says. He understands that as a man, all he has is his word. So he backs them up through consistency, honesty, and action. That was excellent, 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 excellent definition. Well, there's certain lifestyles like that. I say, that he wouldn't attract me, but you can tell all the jewelry is homemade. It's made by hand, handmade, and it's ethnic. And so, that's his thing. For all we know, he made it. You know what I mean? He's wearing his product. I don't really care. I wouldn't date him, but I'm just looking at the picture of the dude. The dude looks. I mean, he looked like he, take care of business. Like if you was if some shit went down when you was with dude, he could handle it. He would be like he'd either talk his way out of it, slick his way out of it, or fight his way out of it. And the same with the other dude. And you would feel protected with him, like he ain't down with the okey doke. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Jim Doll came in, weighed in, and this is what she said. A manly man is a provider. He's a problem solver and he finds the answers without whining and complaining. Not saying that he may not have problems, but he doesn't look to his woman for the solution. He knows how to change a tire, do a little tinkering around the house and on a vehicle. He's confident and doesn't worry about what others are doing because he's too busy meeting and exceeding his own goals. He doesn't see women as a threat for doing well in their lives, and he applauds with no malice. Lastly, he doesn't waste time he could be using to make money arguing on the internet, especially arguing with women on the internet. Ooh, them frog boys will just go in and it's like you just practically, just could just see them having a menstrual cycle the way they be going in on other women. It's like, dude, really? This is the best you could do. Let's move on. Ray Francis says, a man who takes the lead. If something needs to be handled, he takes the initiative rather than letting the woman handle it all by herself just because she's capable. That is true. That is very true. They just want to overburden women with responsibility and, sit back and just say, well, you a strong woman, you do it. No. And Faith chimed in with the manly man doesn't care about other people think of him, therefore he is worthy of being called a dude who goes his own way. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Ivory Ascending, she popped up this afternoon with this one. A manly man consistently seeks to strive for better in his life. That is key, and I'll be talking a little more about that in a little bit. A manly man sees the value of giving his woman free time to rest in her femininity. A manly man finds confidence in helping his woman with household chores and errands without an excuse based on gender roles. A manly man is reliable and he puts his words into action. A manly man does not procrastinate. A manly man doesn't make excuses. He executes solutions. God damn it, girl. That was some shit right there. I was walking around all afternoon saying that all afternoon. A manly man don't make excuses, he executes solutions. I was like, get it, Ivory. And then we come into what Miss Obsidian posted. It was had to put this on a couple of sides because girlfriend just like went left. But I wanted to make sure that this was in the video because things on the wall fade off after a while. And so she was talking about some of the things that, it's kind of a mixture of what frog boys do and what men do, but she's like juxtaposing them against each other. So she says when a man stops criticizing and worrying about a woman's hair, IG weave, or how she chooses to make herself beautiful, real men have bigger fish to fry. They don't have time for that. The reason these men are on that nonsense is because subliminally they want to be women. It's called womb envy. Well, looking at the trans movement, you have a point. When a man doesn't gossip about you or others, yes, male gossip is just like too much. When he admits that his frustrations have been rooted in sexual frustration and he wants to be with a man, when he doesn't take his mommy issues out on you, when he doesn't stir up drama between two women, when he talks to you like a man and admits his failures as a man and steps that he will take to man up. When he protects, provides, and produces. That's key right there. Notice how many times that's come up. Women are looking for men to protect, provide, and solve problems. And yet, so many of them don't do that. When his no means no and his yes means yes. When a man takes pride in teaching a young man what's right and what's wrong. And when a man can admit that he or the relationship is in need of help. When he knows how to handle conflicts and resolve them in a healthy way, that's very true. There's a spiritual element to masculinity as it is to feminine. Okay, well, I'll skip all that God part. I don't be messing with that. When a man knows what healthy gender roles are, when he isn't uh, a dater, what else is he knows is healthy to a long time to grow? Okay, I don't know what she was trying to say there. When a man can teach a young girl what a proper man is and what signs to watch out for, negative signs to watch out for. Those are all very, very important things. So let's talk now. Let's talk about this. What are some of the characteristics of manliness and real manhood? Why are we seeing so little of it these days? I think that some of it is that, these guys have a problem with women. And you can't be a solid manly man if you are having problems with women. Part of what manly men do is pursue women. That's the way that this stuff was, created. Man and woman together, procreate, continue the human race. And if you have men that don't, pursue women, but then they get angry at women for not giving themselves to them, or they become, instead of protectors of women, they become predators of women, then you have a problem. So what we really should have is guys who are not, they're not deviants. They should be honoring women, and they recognize that, objectifying women, like, in corncob videos and whatnot, and treating women as objects is just wrong. It's just flatly wrong. A guy who's a manly man treats women with dignity, and he does not engage in jokes or in relationships or any kind of interaction that supports or condones the degradation, the mistreatment, or the sexualization, objectification of women. He doesn't do that. He values the potential of every woman and girl, and he treats every female accordingly. Okay, and it doesn't have to be his daughter. That's what usually, how you get men's attention is you tell them, well, um, you want to act like that, you want to do all the stuff, you want to say all the stuff, but what if that was your daughter? How would you feel? And then you can see them like get quiet and the gears start shifting, and they, well, I wouldn't like it. Okay, but then why do you think you should treat somebody else's daughter or sister like that then? What makes your daughter so special that everybody else's daughter is not is the same, and as if the same level of importance to them? So what you do to solve that problem, you treat all women and girls, especially these little girls that y'all be hunting down like wolves. You leave them alone and you treat them with the respect that they deserve. They're children. Okay, you need to step off your old dusty butt. Trying to mess with 14-year-old girls and stuff. Oh, serial dater? Oh, I was reading, I was like, oh, I don't understand the short end. Okay, let's move on. Okay, what do manly men do with his time? He spends his time wisely in ways that better both himself and those around him. What does that mean? That means he does not sit around playing video games all damn day. Sit around smoking herbalicious all damn day. He's not involved in selfish hobbies and hanging out with the boys at the expense of his woman and children. He does not waste his time talking about who won't let him be a man, who won't let him be the lead, who won't give him a chance. He makes chances because he's that dude. And women are drawn to him like bees are to honey. And that's why he gets chances. Because his shit's tight. He motivates himself to push on and win. He's not like, he doesn't just like fall down and stay down. He uses the time to develop relationships with his mate, with his children, with his extended family. He makes meaningful contributions to society. He uses his time to read and grow and take classes and better himself. So every year he can look and see the steps that he's made and how he's progressed mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually. Somehow he has grown as a person. He may, of course, have some hobbies and stuff that take, I mean, everybody should have something that fulfills them. I'm not, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he should have nothing, but he should never do so to the point where he sacrifices the time that he should be spending with the people that are important to him. Because you know what? Kids grow up. And then you keep brushing them off, brushing them off, brushing them off. Pretty soon they're going to be adults and they're going to be out the house and going on about their lives. And you're going to wish that you had spent more time with them when they were young. So do it now. Okay. The smart manly man knows that his family is important to him. Thank you, irises. This is key. You got a manly man. He's the one out there playing ball with his kids and coaching the little league team and stuff. Even though he has a very demanding job, he wants to make sure that his child's life is rich. He goes on family vacations. He does stuff that makes a mark on his children and his woman in their hearts. Which is like, once you have that, where they gonna go? So these guys are talking about, my woman cheated on me. Well, how much of this did you do? Or how much did you ignore her and their kids? Um, so let's move on to point number 3. Oh, I forgot. I put these slides in here to make it interesting. To reiterate that point. Frederick Douglass. He's talking about the man, The man who will get up will be helped up. But you got to want to get up on your own, dudes. And the man who will not get up, he's just going to be, you're just going to stay there then. You're just going to lay down. And getting up is a virtue, and it comes from the sturdiest manhood. But there can be no independence without a large share of self dependence. That means independence. And this virtue cannot be bestowed, it must be developed from within. So you can't go, what he's saying, you can't go and ask somebody, like these dudes want to come to the women. Well, I need you to teach me how to be a man. I need you to teach me how to lead. I need help to do this and this and that. Okay, but I mean, what have you done on your own? You just want her to come step in and take over and do all the work for you while you claim the title and get the glory from it, but you haven't done anything. See, you haven't gotten up, like Frederick Douglass is saying. So, when people see you striving and grinding, then they believe in you. And they believe that you're trying to make your dream come true, and then they'll step in line with you because they see the proof that you trying to make some shit happen. But you just sitting there on the couch with the video game controls in your hand, talking about I'm gonna, wanna, shoulda, I might, maybe in the future, and then but nothing's happening. Nobody's gonna pay no attention to you. That's not a manly man. That's a BS artist. Thank you. Oh, girl, we just getting into it. This is gonna be a good show. Thank you, Miss Obsidian. Yeah, you can't help a man be a man. You can't step back and let him be a man. That's something he has to decide for himself. No one can do that for him. Okay, so now we move on to slide number 3. Where's my notes? What did I do with them? Hold on, y'all. I'm losing stuff. Oh, man. My stuff is all out of order. I'm looking for it. For my little notes. Well, I don't know where it is, so I'm just gonna wing it because I know what I said. Okay, values trust, love, honor, and fidelity. This is a guy who he holds the woman who loves him, he holds that in high regard. He doesn't want to do anything to mess that up. A guy who is a manly man is loyal. He's loyal not only to his woman, he's loyal to his friends. He's loyal to his country. He's loyal to whatever organizations he's aligned himself with. He's loyal to his family, I mean his extended family. He values the trust that they have in him, so he always wants to be a person of his word. That's very important to him. And being a person who honors and respects his relationship, honors and respects his woman, he doesn't want to do anything that's going to damage that. So he's very, very careful about the things that he says, the people that he's around, the people he brings up in his house, the people he hangs around with. All of those things can have a bad negative influence on his household and his relationship, and he protects them at all costs. His woman is his number one priority. His children are his number two priority, and then everything else falls behind that. So you got to, when a guy values the trust that you have in him in your relationship, you value the love. This is not a man who's going to cheat on you because he has that kind of respect about you and himself. If you have a guy who does want to cheat, bounce around, and think that he's supposed to do that and that's his right and privilege, that's not a man. He's a little boy. He's acting out like an adolescent. So all women have put up with these guys who want to cheat and lie and corner cut and stuff, and you want to say, well, walk around talking about, well, that's my man, that's my man. No, girlfriend, you need to retract that statement. He's not a man at all. He's an F boy. Okay, that is an F boy, and it's not ever really gonna work out well for you or him uh, in a situation like that. He wants to be there for you and give you, his time and some emotional closeness and physical satisfaction and intellectual stimulation. And you know how the women in the advice column this week were talking about how the guy doesn't pay any attention to him, he doesn't talk to him. They have silent treatment in the house for a week and all stuff. Okay, this guy would never do you like that because he honors and places your love for him and your relationship have a high value to him. Okay, so he would never do that. All right, let's move on to number 4. Now, keep in mind, these are just my ideas. This is not written in stone anywhere, but I think they cover just about everything, every point that you guys made at the beginning of the show, and all the things that an F boy would do, a frog boy. Well, these are the anti-frog boy mandates. So number 4 is a manly man demonstrates integrity by being honest and trustworthy. What does that mean? That means he's always going to seek to uphold the truth and seeking understanding. Like, ask questions, don't just jump to conclusions. Try to find a common ground to avoid, escalating a confrontation that could move into violence. Usually, he's kind of a peacemaker. He's a level-headed dude in the crowd, and he's not like overly aggressive. He's not manipulative. He's not going to try to win or be right or get over on anybody. That's not his moral stance. That's not his values. He respects other people. He's somebody that you can depend on to come through for you when he says he's going to do it. We all know it. We've all been disappointed by men like that. They just leave you hanging. We call them frog boys, Miss Foxglove. Watch your language. You don't use that term. We call them frog boys, and because that passes by the screening, but we all know what it means. And this guy, the manly man, is not always looking for the next best thing, but he commits to you and he invests in the relationship that he has. And I don't know. This is not the dude because he has integrity and he's honest and he's trustworthy. He's not the kind that's going to deny or minimize and sidestep and blame shift and rationalize anything that he does that hurts other people. He's going to own it, and he's repentant, and he honestly will ask you for forgiveness if he knows he's wronged you, whether it was intentional or not. He still will ask and check in with you like that. So that's called being responsible. He accepts responsibility for his choices and his actions, and he also takes the moment to check himself. Okay, why did I do that? What was I thinking? And so that he doesn't do that same thing and hurt somebody again in the future. That's growth. That's maturity. That's the kind of thing that a woman wants in her man. Somebody who's always striving to become better. Because then that way, even if he does mess up, the fact that you can see he's trying to be a better man and he's honestly putting in that work. I mean, what woman's going to stay mad at him for too long with that kind of attitude? You just not. Okay, let's move on here. This is Confucius, one of my favorite philosophers. The way of a superior man is threefold: virtuous, he's free from anxieties, he's wise, he's free from perplexities, and bold, he is free from fear. So you got a guy who's, he's like calm, reasonable, he has sense, he can communicate well, and he has strength of character and, this kind of I can make it happen kind of attitude. He's not afraid of failure, he's not afraid of anything. Oh, my God, I'm in love. I just want to see this person walk in the room. All right? So it goes on to talk about, I want to talk about that demonstrating courage, confidence and courage. How many times have we heard about men and seen them online talking about how they were scared? They back down because they're so terrified of rejection, right? They're terrified of rejection. And I'm like, okay, what can happen just because you ask for one for phone number and she says no, thank you? You ask for a dance and she says no, thank you. What, do you die? Do you start bleeding? Do you bleed out? Is your jugular vein cut? Is all the money in your bank account drained? What happens to you that you want to get all just worked up and get all stupid about it instead of being gracious and saying, well, thank you anyway. I hope you have a nice time this evening. Something along those lines. You want to leave her looking like, oh, maybe I made a mistake, versus, ooh, I'm glad I said no to his dusty ass. So, you want to have a guy that is who doesn't sit around more fearful of failure than of success, or failure, really, because a lot of people are afraid of both, so they don't do anything. They just hang in the middle, just doing nothing. Keep doing the exact same thing, the exact same way their entire life. They're too afraid to even do something as basic as try a new food because they're afraid of it. Women go on, I have a food forum here, and people go on there and they talk about, oh, well, how does something taste? It's like, how you think somebody else is gonna know how it's gonna taste to you? That's a stupid question. You the only black woman be asked that dumb shit. And it's like, how does that taste? And then so I tell them nobody's gonna know what it tastes like to you. So just be brave and try it. Oh no, I'm scared to try it. I'm scared. Why would you be afraid of food? And so for men, it's the thing, they're afraid of asking a woman out. They're afraid of trying for promotion. They're afraid of thinking they might flunk out of school, so they don't even try to go. I mean, it's all this fear, fear, fear. What woman wants to be with a man who's shivering there like Courage the Cowardly Dog? Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Trust me. We want you to differentiate confidence and courage and to be bold and brave and to step out and away from the pack. Now that pack mentality, I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. Um, you got to be able to stand on your own and be, just not really tripping about what other people think about it. You walk your own path, you go your own way, you do your own thing, and you decide what's good for you, not other people. But so many men are just so needy for the approval of other dudes. It's just unbelievable. They play more to other men than they do to women, which I always thought was kind of interesting. But a guy who's courageous is also going to be able to to admit that he's sad or he hurts or he feels lonely. I mean, he owns stuff. He owns things he feels. He owns things he says. He owns his goals. He owns his failures. He owns it all. He's not afraid to try new things because the only thing that really matters is that you try. If you don't ever try, it's like being on a bench at a game. You don't ever get up to hit the ball. How can you make a home run? You just sitting safely on the bench not doing shit. And it's the same thing in life with dudes that don't step up. They don't step out there and, man up. So that's always a problem. I've always wondered about guys who do that. Okay, so let's look at number 6. My point number 6 is to be a manly man, you got to have a strong masculine presence. Okay. I was going to put some pictures up of some men that didn't have that, but I think we all know what that looks like. Them soft shouldered dudes, their bodies are soft, or they look like the Pillsbury Doughboy, and they walk around with their head hanging, shuffling their feet. Instead of lifting their head, they don't have no muscles anywhere. They just look weak and all this stuff. Okay. And the thing, a lot of dudes are mad because they feel like, well, you have to be tall. Look at fucking Bruce Lee. He was a little piece of man. Even Jet Li, small gut. But would you ever look at them and not say that they were manly men? Especially Bruce. I mean, you know what I mean? Kick your ass to Mars. You keep messing around. But I'm just like, the leanness, the presence, the attitude. That's what women are attracted to. And it doesn't matter how tall you are. There's a lot of guys that have that thing. They're like 5'7" or whatever, and they have women that are taller than them, and everybody's really happy. So that's not it. It's your attitude, dudes. Your attitude. You got to have an attitude of you are the shit. And if you don't have that and you looking around all nervous and needy and feeling all insecure and doubting yourself, that's going to come through. Women are going to be able to pick that up and they're not going to be interested in you because femininity can only blossom when it is countered against masculinity. That means we can't feel like real good women and feel delicate and beautiful and soft and gentle unless you are stepped up to be a strong masculine man. Then, because of that, we can be the other. We can be the opposite. But if you're weak in any respect, then we have to fill in that gap. And that's when they talk about, well, that's why so many masculine black women. I'm like, look at you, punk ass black men. That's why we're that way. There has to be a balance between yin and yang in a couple. That's just the law of nature. Okay, so if you got a weak ass man, then the woman's gonna be extra strong to make up for his weakness and lackings. That's how it is. That's the way it is in any kind of pairing in nature or science. That's just how it is. So if you want your woman to be soft and dainty and delicate and all that kind of stuff, then that means you got to work on your masculine energy because it's lacking. Okay, so that's your fault. They don't get it. They don't get it. You always looking for somebody to boss around and lead you and tell you what to do and all that kind of stuff instead of making decisions on your own and doing the right thing and having some mental strength and some endurance and some toughness and all of that. Then it's just it's a problem. And I think a lot of it too. I think a lot of it is, prior to when did they stop doing the draft? Sometime in the 70s, right? They stopped drafting young men in this country, and since then, men have been all kinds of fucked up. They need to bring the draft back. And you know why? Because not because of war or anything, but like in Korea, every young man has to do 2 years of service for his country. That's it. Everybody, every male that's able-bodied in that country can fight if a war breaks out. They all know what to do. They're already trained. Part of that training also is developing mental toughness, is developing a sense of duty. Being in the service develops men's. It teaches them discipline. It teaches them strength of character because they're gonna run you, they're gonna push you to the limit, and you're gonna persevere, and you're gonna learn teamwork. I mean, men learn all kinds of things by being in that kind of structured environment and somebody being tough on them. So many single parent homes with the mamas in their babying these boys that we just got a whole nation down full of frog boys. They just useless as hell and can't do nothing. And they'll play video games and all this kind of stuff. That's their idea of manhood. So we as a country are failing these boys. This, I think, is part of it. Now, I'm not saying that's all of it, but that's definitely part of it. And so they just don't know what to do with themselves. They don't have any purpose, no direction, nobody guiding them and telling them how to be men and teaching them these basic tenets of manhood is not happening anymore. And I'm telling you, I'm a firm believer that the draft should come back just for that. Because we can't have these boys like this. All of this stuff, being mentally tough and having perseverance and endurance, and that's mental and physical, and strength, mental and physical strength. um, those are the kind of things that you take into your life, into your relationship. It helps you protect your family. It helps you get your goals together and achieve them. And these are the men. If you got a guy who's got a strong masculine physical presence, he's not gonna be the one complaining about that no woman wants him and being an incel and all this kind of stuff because women he be fighting women off. Women are attracted to men that have a strong masculine physical presence. We're drawn to them. We can't help it. It's in our genes, our DNA. You can't, even if he's too young for you or whatever, you're still drawn to him because of the masculine energy that he exudes. It's just like you just get this tingle. And I think guys don't even understand, when they have it, they know they have it. But the other guys who don't even understand it. So what they do, they get mad and they want to say, well, they call them dudes, the white boys call them chads, and then the black dudes call them thugs. But what it really is these are guys that have a strong masculine physical presence that you don't. So they can attract women and you can't. And that's all it is. He has virility and he looks healthy and strong and, capable and all these kind of stuff. And those are the that women are drawn to. And I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. Those are also the guys that get jobs. Though they get job offers at higher salaries than other dudes. They get opportunities that other dudes don't get. It's just the way it is in life. And part of that also is grooming. Okay, grooming is important. Now, let me show you what somebody sent me today. I mean, not well, recently. This came from, I think, Reddit, as I recall. And she sent it to me, and I saved it because I want to use it as an example here about the importance of you presenting yourself as a strong masculine man and the importance of your grooming. Your beard should be shaved up, your hair should be trimmed up, edged up, and all this stuff. You should have clean nails, your skin should be good, and you should know how to wash your ass. Look at what she's saying here. Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend he has bad hygiene and is leaving stains and smells everywhere? This was really posted. My boyfriend is sleeping in the spare room and I need an outside opinion. Tonight, I noticed a terrible smell coming from my boyfriend's underwear. He got up from the couch and the seat smelled foul like a dirty toilet. I went upstairs and there were brown stains on the bed sheets. I changed the sheets, but then he sat down on them naked after his shower and left brown marks on there. We've spoken about this before, but it didn't seem to change anything. I spoke to him about it again, asking why he keeps zapping and if he had a medical problem. I was just, talking, not shouting. He told me I'm mean for bringing it up, refused to help change the sheets, and has gone sleep in the other room. I asked if he genuinely thought I was just saying this to be mean, and he said yes. He said it happens to all men and it's normal. No, it does not happen to all men. It only happens to nasty motherfuckers like you who don't know how to wash their ass. So this is the kind of thing, when you see her putting up with this, right? She's putting up with a guy who leaves shitty smells on her couch and brown streaks on her sheets, and she wants to have that as a man. Now, notice her disgust. There's no way in this world this relationship is going to last. And by the time whatever romantic feeling she had for him and his masculinity, it is being washed away when he should be washing his ass. So he's losing. He's about to lose this woman because of his very poor grooming habits, which are not what manly men do. Manly men smell good. They always smell good. They always look good. They take care of themselves. Even if he's a construction worker, he's not going to be walking around stinking. He's when he come in the house, he's like straight to the shower. He takes off his work clothes. He puts on some other clothes. He's like, "Hey, baby," and he come out smelling all good and everything. She all cuddled up into him, and that's how you do it. This here is disgusting. He's probably one of them dudes that thinks that he don't want to put nothing up between his butt cheeks because that means, problem. Yeah, you know this, Jim Daw. You know this, but I wasn't going to say that, but you did. So, yeah, I couldn't. I just had to show you guys that because it's an example. I think a lot of guys need to understand. When a woman is complaining about your hygiene, you're not being a manly man. You're acting like a fucking 3-year-old. You need mommy to bathe you and wash your ass for you. You ought to know how to do that as an adult. There's no excuse for what's going on in this situation here. And this is a grown man. This is just disgusting. He would be out my house. I'd be like, oh no, take your funky unwashed ass and hit the door. Don't sit on nothing else on your way out and get out. Just imagine how his car smells. Oh, good Lord. Okay, let's move on. Deb's idea number 7 of manhood. He takes his role as a provider and a role model for children and a guide for the community seriously. Now, this is a lot. This is a lot. But remember earlier I was talking about the guy who, coaches his son's little league or his daughter's little basketball team or something? Like, think about Kobe and Gianna. You know how the work he did with her and her little teammates and all the stuff. He started that organization and stuff. That's what I'm talking about. He taken that role seriously. And, making sure his kids are taken care of. So when you have a situation like this, um, your guy should understand that women are looking for men to be the major breadwinner. Ideally, a lot of people want this 50-50 thing. I think it should be more like 70-30 because like even if a woman's working, she should only be if they have kids, she should only be working part-time because her other job is taking care of them kids in that house and you. So you trying to make her put in a straight 8, you put in 8 and then you come home and sit down, that's not right. And she's going to end up exhausted and that's not being a manly man. Okay? That's just not going to work. So what does a manly man do? A man's ability to provide is like the cornerstone of what we consider man to be manhood. Everybody who depends on him is looking for him to provide. Whether he goes out and hunts a boar, or he goes and fishes for the food, or he has a job, or he farms it, or whatever he's doing, he makes sure that everybody's taken care of in his household because that's his job. He also will demonstrate economic maturity. Now, what does that mean? That means he holds his job. He ain't quitting at the drop of a hat. Talking, well, I didn't like it there. It was just like, it was just like my problem here. I didn't really like it, and so I'm gonna get something else. I just need to rest for a while. And so he transferred all the responsibility to you, right? No. Uh, who is this? Hold on a second here. Um, yeah, okay. And his money, he handles his money with an eye for the future. He's not self centered or lazy with the money. Like guys who just go and just, fart off money buying stupid stuff and then they can't pay their rent. Like my husband had a cousin like that who used to do that. And then come to him wanting to get the money to pay his rent. And his dumb ass used to give it to him. That was before I came along, though. I put a stop to that mess. And you also got these men who are homosexual bums. They want to try to live off of women because they don't manage their money. They don't try to be a role model for anybody. They don't try to lead nothing. They're just bums. But you got a real man, a true man, a manly man. He's going to use a combination of determination, ambition, strength, wit, mental savvy, and whatever other skills he can get together that show he takes his role as a provider seriously. That's what's going to drive him to succeed, make him do better, do more, and be greater later. He will strive to create an environment of comfort and safety for his wife and children. And it's like when you do like soldiers do. They like, protect the perimeter. That's what he does at his house with his family in on the inside of it. All right? You know Marcus Aurelius. He says a man must stand erect, not be kept erect by others. Now that is like one sentence that is so strong and so important is for a sense of manliness. Guys, you got to understand this, and ladies too. You want to come stepping in. In the 7-minute video series, I have what's the 7-minute lessons on life and love. There's like 3 videos that have to do with why you should not help men. Okay, you don't help men. That's what this is saying. A man must stand erect, not be kept erect by others. You don't do what they always call these women be proud to do. Like, I'm holding my man down. I'm keeping him up. I'm lifting him up. I'm doing all stuff. No, 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 no. Because now what you have is a frog boy. You have somebody who's leaning on you. He's not a man. You doing all of this work to try to make it look like he's a man. So when he looks in the mirror, he's standing up straight. But who's holding him? He's not holding himself. You're holding him. That's not a man. That's what you need to understand. And so many women they like you see them on like on social medias and stuff, and they really are proud of the fact that they're doing all of this stuff to make this man feel like he's somebody that he's not. He hasn't done anything on his own of merit. Nothing. She's running around doing everything for him, filling out job applications, doing his resume, even when he didn't ask her to. Going to buy him clothes for his interview. I mean, what is he, like a child? And then they want to say, well, this is my man. No, you don't even understand what a man is. You got to do all of that for him to take care of him like he's a big old baby. That's not a man. And we're looking for manly men on this show, not just men, which is a step above. What is a manly man? This is a man who is a man amongst other men. Even other dudes be like, yeah, dude is, dude's shit is on point. Dude is tight. He got it going on. Guys will say stuff like that when they admire another guy. Dude, all right. That kind of stuff. They'll say stuff like that to let you know that this is a man that they respect. They respect the fact that he's on his grind and he's making shit happen. Yeah, I'm not trying to do that. Hey, tell me what you know. Talking about you want me to help you. I'm not helping you. That's what you got male buddies for. Do that. Okay, now let's talk about this one. How do they manage their emotions? This is very important because these guys that we keep seeing online, I'm sorry, this video is going to be long as hell. These guys that we see online whining and crying about, stuff and going off and going, they want to do school shootings and whatnot, and they want to, beat up women and they just want to go crazy and act stupid. You don't want to talk to them on the street, they lose their minds. Okay, these are guys who don't know how to manage their emotions. Their emotions are those of children. They're like extended toddlerhood amongst them. A real man, he doesn't deny that he has emotions. You know, of course, all little boys hear that. Big boy, be a big boy. Don't cry now. Boys don't cry. They all hear that kind of stuff. My parents were guilty of it too. I'm not saying that it's not something that everybody does. They just really don't think about it too much. But little boys get hurt just like little girls do. Everyone suffers pain, emotional and physical. But men have to have the ability to suppress those kinds of emotions and maintain objective and logical view of any circumstances and any situation that they find themselves in, and they need to carry on to make the best decision possible in that moment. Okay, now you can't do that if you flying off the handle and want to fight everybody and act all stupid. I heard a case today. Let me tell you what I read. Okay, I'm reading. I'm trying to get some stuff, but I couldn't do it because it had been on TV. That's YouTube has very strict rules about that, so I couldn't put it up because of that. But let me just give you the highlights. Okay, so a woman goes to a dollar store in Michigan somewhere, and everywhere across the country, they have these rules now that you have to wear a face covering when you go in the store. I mean, everybody knows this is all over the news, all over social media. Everybody knows this. The stores have signs outside. We all know this is the reality. Here come this goofy, bush-headed fool, and she going trying to go in the store with her little daughter. And they said the guy, told her, ma'am, you can't go in the store. You to put your face mask on. And she's like, no, you don't tell me what to do. So anyway, that she tried to go anyway. So the security people, they took her out the store. So now she mad. So she called her husband, and he brings his son, who's in his 20s, and they go up there to confront the security guard about, quote, disrespecting my wife. How is he disrespecting her? She was disrespecting him by not following the rules that everyone else in the store did. That's a state law, okay? State law. And she going to blame the fact that she didn't get a store and didn't have a mask on this guard. Do you know this husband takes out a gun and shoots this man in the head? The man is dead. They said he's a father of 9, a wonderful pillar of the community. I mean, just everybody they interviewed said he's just the greatest guy. It doesn't bother nobody, nothing, was just working this little job, like extra to make extra money. And he lost his life because some bush-headed fool, and I mean, she looked like like she used to be a crack fiend, but maybe seeing better days. She looked like that. And the husband and the son is on the run now, and the husband's already a felon, so he shouldn't even had a gun, let alone been in a position to be killing somebody. So now, what is the moral of this story? This is not only a woman who didn't manage her emotions, a man who didn't manage his emotions, who has now destroyed this man, this non-manly man, this F frog boy man, destroyed his whole family and another family and all those 9 children and all his extended family because he did not manage his emotions. This is a key thing in manhood, a cornerstone of manhood, managing your emotions. So now, not only did that man destroy his family, because now the woman's in jail, him and the boy is on the run. The little girl don't have no parents and no big brother to watch out for. So she in foster care. Who knows what's happening to her there? We've all heard the stories. Okay. And then this other man's family is in deep grief. Who's gonna support them 9 kids? This is what I'm talking about. This is why it is so important for you, if you are a mother and you fathers, teach your sons to manage their emotions and not be flying off the handle, reacting all stupid to something. They need to think. Now, if this man had any sense, would his wife called him upset? He would have said, well, babe, that's a state law. Where's your mask at? And then she would have calmed right down because she would have put her in check. And she was like, I don't have one. He said, well, then the man doing his job. You need to put your mask on or bring your ass home. I don't know what to tell you, but I'm not coming up there to argue with nobody who's doing his job. That's what he's there for. You want to argue with him and act a fool, that's on you. But don't expect me to get involved in that shit. Click. That's what he should have done. That he could have managed her, not only his emotions, but hers as well, by showing her that she was acting stupid. So that's why, that's just an example that just happened yesterday of what happens when an adult male is not a man and he does not manage his emotions. Okay, this is in the news. KGO something or whatever out of Michigan. I saw it on their site. All right, let's move on. Yeah, I thought it was very, very sad. What can I mean? You got to have some smarts. Okay, you got to be smart. I cannot stand no dumbass man. Oh my God. Some of them, their conversation is so inane. You can tell their IQ is about 17 and they want to sit up there and talk to you about something. I'm like, dude, what? I don't watch TV. You talking about stuff that really, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't watch television. I don't know who these people are that you're talking about. Oh, they on, hip hop something or other. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, what you want from me? I can't do that. I want a guy to have conversation of substance, and I want his mind to be able to, have concepts and ideas, and do analysis of things, and have stuff that's mentally stimulating to talk about. That shit is a turn on. You got a man who's dumb and he don't have nothing to talk about but sports and television and music and his job. Oh my God, I'm going to be bored with you in about 10 seconds. They don't know how to. They don't even know how to use computers. Where do they people live at? Oh my God. See, that's the kind of dude, he better have hella money. That's all I can say. If you don't have no smarts, you better have figured out a way to be rolling in money to try to make up for it. Or your looks better be well, but even then women are gonna get tired of you because after a while they're going on to talk about something and you don't have nothing to talk about. So that relationship won't last for long. So he's got to be smart. I mean, even if a guy doesn't have formal education, is he an intelligent guy? Does he like to read? Is his mind broad and curious like a sponge? Does he always seeking knowledge? Sometimes that's better than formal education because some people get that degree and they're done with learning. They're not gonna try to learn nothing else or read another book as long as they live. They're done. Whereas somebody who has a real thirst for knowledge and learning is going to continue to learn long after they're in school up until the day that they die. They're going to be still trying to learn, develop themselves, and become better, learn about new people, new things, new concepts, all kinds of stuff. And the education and the acquisition of knowledge are really important factors in male development into manhood because of the fact that when a man has knowledge and intelligence, he can use those to make sound decisions. He can analyze situations, the pros and cons, the possible risks and dangers, the benefits and all that stuff. He can do a quick cost benefit analysis, right? Because he's got the sparks to do that. And so the family can avoid those kind of pitfalls. He makes his woman nervous as if he's gonna make a stupid decision if he's a dumb dude. And very often that could lead to the downfall of the whole family. So you see a lot of women who don't have confidence in their men's decision making power is because they know that the guy that they love is an idiot. So me, I can't be in love with an idiot. I can't if I don't like how you think. I think you make stupid decisions. You say stupid shit all the time, and I'm doubting your wit and your IQ level and stuff, and I come constantly rolling my eyes at the stuff that you say. Then this is it. This is gone. And as a matter of fact, there's a study I came across too that was done in Finland that said that the smarter the man is, the less likely he is to be unfaithful. According to that research, more intelligent men are more likely to also get married and to stay married. So you running into these F boys that don't want to get married and they just want to, hop around like garden tools. That should be a clue, ladies. That's not the one. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. You want a guy who has a high level of emotional intelligence. That means he also, the education and thing, the intellect, IQ, that's one thing. Emotional intelligence means that he has the ability to understand and take into consideration the feelings and the opinions and the views of other people, sometimes without them even saying the words, because he can tell by their tone of voice, their inflections. Players have this pretty good. Of course, they don't use it the way it's supposed to be used, but at least they have the skill set. And decent dudes should learn how to do that as well, and it will go a long way towards making them have a very successful relationship and marriage with a woman. Levels of emotional intelligence dudes work on that. If you don't know what that is, Google it, make it happen. Okay, the next one, point number 10. We only got 12 here. Oh my God, can you be willing and able to step up? That is the number to me. All of these are number ones to me. That's why I say this is my list. It's not written in stone, but I saw that a lot of you did agree with me for what you posted. We need to do to be able to step up. These passive ones, these little passive dudes. Oh well, I don't know. Oh well, maybe. ah, They don't want to make a decision about nothing. They don't never know nothing. Oh my God. A passive guy can never, ever, 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 not in 55 bazillion years, get the badge of honor of what we call manliness. It's not going to happen. You just are spineless. You like a sea anemone. Nobody wants you. Manly men have a strong sense of duty as well. They step up and they're the first ones out they see when they see something going on wrong, something that needs to be fixed, a situation that needs to be handled. Manly men do what is necessary, even if it's not the popular choice or the easiest decision, because he knows it's the right thing to do. It's his duty as a man to handle it. He's a problem solver, drama preventer, bullshit destroyer. He takes initiative without being told what to do like a child. Passivity, weakness, and inaction is never manly. And I know we got some people here, but I have to tell you this story. This is when this dude that I was dating in Texas. And, I'm a California girl. Things are different. My dad's from Texas, though, his family. But I'm with this dude, right? And we in San Francisco. Flew in to visit me. And we driving down Haight Street. We right at the intersection of Haight and Ashbury. Now, the car is parked here. We're here. There's a lane of cars going that way, and the car's parked going that way. Okay, and on a sidewalk on the corner there, is this brother beating his sister's ass like she was a man. He just pummeling on her like crazy. And so I saw it, right? And these three white guys just walked by and looked at it and just kept on walking. So I turned to do it. I said, "Did you see?" By the time I said that, he was, because we were stopped, right? It was traffic and the light was red. Was out the car, had hopped over the hood of my car, dipped between the other cars, grabbed dude, pulled him off that woman, and threw him up against the wall and said, "You want to hit somebody, motherfucker, hit me." Now, dude was 6'3" and buff and cut as hell. Dude looked at him and was like, "I don't think so." And so he started walking on down the street. So, we looking at the lady. She all kinds of fucked up. So he brings her, we put her in the car, he take her to the emergency room at, what's that hospital over there? St. Luke's, I think it was the closest hospital where we were. And we, dropped her off there because she was messed up. Because dude was just like boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba. So he was hitting her so fast by the time we saw it. And, I said, he got there and everything. She had to have been hit at least 10 times. It was unbelievable. But see, that's an example of a man who's willing and able to step up. You take your role as a defender seriously. And it's not just your woman that you defending, any woman. Okay, you just don't. That's not who you are as a man, to let some other dude sit there and beat on some little 5'6" woman. That lady was little, and he just big old dude. But he wasn't as big as my dude. But plus my dude was buff and younger, so he would have definitely given him. I mean, because the way he snatched him off that, I mean, like, dude, it's a good sized man. He snatched him up and flung him on that wall like he was like a paperclip. I was like, oh my, I likes this. So, stepping up is important. You got to have a man who has that kind of sense of duty when he sees that something's wrong. Because passivity, weakness, and inaction is never manly, is not sexy. Don't no woman want a man who ain't gonna do shit. All you gonna do is sit there and just give lip service, or worse yet, not even do that. Oh my God. General Patton speaking for me now. Duty is the essence of manhood. It's a 3-star general. If he says duty is the essence of manhood, well, God damn it, I'm gonna roll with that. That works for me. Oh, they do. They might not, Felicia. There's some of them out there, but you know what it is? That's not even it. That's not even the purpose of what we're doing right here. The purpose, the reason why I'm doing this show is twofold. Number one, there are so many young girls who have no clue about what manhood is. So they get some little basic frog boy who wears pants sagging, ain't had a job, who don't brush his teeth, stinks, got, lint in his hair, and just, it just looks dusty. He want to lay up in the house and sit around playing video games and move in with them right away and all this kind of stuff. That is a bum. That's not a man. Okay, that's not a man. And you want to sit there and think, that you want to call him your man and be all proud and stuff. You should be kicking your own ass. Okay, I don't know what you want to call that man. And see, this is the thing that bothers me too, because these guys are not men. Whatever DNA they have, this sick, twisted stuff that they want to carry around, you all should be valuing your wombs and your reproductive systems more than you do. Those kind of dudes should never have the opportunity to reproduce, because being to reproducing is a manly man thing, and they haven't earned that privilege. They're not men. Only men have the capability to be fathers and husbands. If he's not either one of those and don't want to be, he don't get no children. And y'all need to get your birth control tight and stop doing this. Stop it. Stop breeding all these fucking babies. For these, well, I got pregnant. Okay, well, you know how to get unpregnant too. There's no excuse for that. And talking about, well, I don't believe in abortion. So you believe in torturing yourself for 18 years? You believe in having some knucklehead be able to roll in your life and dictate and control you? Because if it's his kid, he has the right to do that. He can snatch the kid. He can do all kinds of stuff. So there's no, you guys, I just want you to think harder about this kind of stuff. I'm not telling you can't have kids. You want to set yourself up for that drama and bullshit, that's on you. But I'm telling you, that is a very bad decision. If you're going to have a child, have one by a man with some fucking sense. Have one that got some damn money. Have someone that has a brain. Have one who has a sense of honor, who's got some courage and who's got determination, who's going to succeed, even if he's very young. He's already on that path. That's who you have as the father for your children, not some dusty bum in and out of prison who can't do shit for you or the kid. He can't even do shit for himself. What are you doing? What are you thinking? That's one reason why I want to do this show. Okay, the other one is we have all these young men sitting around here thinking they want to call themselves a man. No, your ass is a child. Get over it. Don't you can't even spell man. Don't you even try to stand next to the word. You're not qualified. And your little girlfriend and your raggedy ass mama sitting up there talking about my son is a man, and he ain't got no job. He don't have no money. He asking you for money. He living in your basement or in your guest room or your guest house or something. Ain't paying no bills. You depending on you to cook for him and clean for him and make it clean his room, wash his clothes and all that stuff. You have a tall child, lady. That's what you have. Your son is not a man, he's a bum. Just own it. You raised a bum. Now what you gonna do about it? Kick him out. Make him stand on his own 2 feet. Just like Aurelia said, a man got to stand alone, not being propped up by others. As long as he's living in your house and you doing everything to support him and raise him and feed him and all that stuff, he don't have to do nothing for himself because you're doing it. And you have a bum. Okay, so that's the two reasons why we're doing the show. I'm not saying that these men exist. I am saying this is what you should strive to have. This is what you should strive to raise your sons to be. And if you are a man and you're young and you know that you got these traits of dustiness already in your little ass, fix it before you become an adult. You a teenager, you a young man still in college, and you got these dusty ass traits. You don't want to work. You want to sit around and just be a bum thinking other people are supposed to take care of you. You're a disgrace. Okay, don't you dare try to call yourself a man. Don't let me run into you because I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to tell you about yourself. And it's going to hurt all your feelings, all of them. Let's move on. Number 11 of my 12 points. This is what a manly man does. He lightens the weight and the burdens of those near him. What does that mean? That means he sees somebody struggling to get through a door. He opens the door for him, whether it's male or female. Young or old, pretty, ugly, fat, don't matter. It could be a grandpa, it could be a grandma, it could be a woman pushing a baby stroller, it could be somebody flying fine, it could be a married man, they carrying their kids or something, they got twins or whatever, whatever it is, but he's going to do something to help them people lighten that burden, okay? He's going to help somebody put their groceries in the car. If you his woman, he sees you stressed out because you got finals coming up, he's going to come in and he's going to do the laundry and do all the stuff like that, even if it's your house, y'all just dating. Right? He's going to do something to show his support and encouragement of you, his belief in you, and he's going to lighten the burden on you so that you don't feel overly stressed. Thank you, Kim Chi. I'm telling you, what you got to do. He sees you studying for the finals and you're exhausted from your job and stuff, and he come in talking about you ain't cooked. What kind of shit is this? You ain't cooked? Okay, where's that lightening of word? Why couldn't you stop and pick up something in stuff and understanding what the stress is she's under? Why you can't cook? See what I mean? That's the kind of stuff. A manly man is not going to be one who comes in with that kind of attitude, feeling entitled to anything. He is his way. His role is to take care of his woman. Okay, he takes care of his lady. He's not going to be just looking at stuff that's good for him. He's concerned about the well being, physically, mentally, and emotionally of other people as well. And he does whatever he can do to be, to do good things for other people and without expecting a Scooby snack or some recognition. That's what pisses me off. These dudes say, well, I opened the door and, uh, I was expecting them to say thank you and this and that. Okay, well, maybe they have poor home training. Maybe they're just stupid. Maybe they're shy or embarrassed or they're scared. Who knows why people don't say common courtesy things? But then what does that have to do with you being a gentleman? What does that have to do why you would do something nice for somebody you sitting there expecting a Scooby snack? That's not why you do things. You a gentleman wherever you go 24/7. No matter who it is or what happens, you are the same. And you don't expect rewards for being a decent person. Okay? That's the difference between a bum who's after doing something to manipulate and get an upper hand and somebody who's genuinely doing it because they're a good dude. Okay? The manly men are good dudes and they don't do it expecting anything. Okay? That's the big difference. Thanks, you guys. And the last one, the last slide, my list. So what we had to ask these dudes, what kind of man are you really? What kind of man are you? There's a story that talks about the three types of men: the wolves, the sheep, and the sheepdogs. So the men are described as one of those three things. The wolves are the lonely, strong ones, of course, and they prey on both the sheep and the weaker wolves. The sheep are weak. They run in a pack. They need somebody to tell them what to do. If you know, I don't know if you guys ever been around a herd of sheep, but man, you make a noise of threat. So one sheep take off running, all the other ones will follow that one. They don't even know where they're going or why they're going there, but they just run like that, just like blindly following whoever puts themselves in the front. It's too funny. And then, of course, what they get like munched, by the wolves. Now then, here come the sheepdogs, though. Sheepdog is strong and it's reliable and it's dependable, and their job is to protect the sheep against the wolves. So, if you had to pick one of them things for your son to be, I'm going to recommend that you pick him to be a sheepdog because the wolves are the narcissist, the sociopaths, the psychopaths. In human form, that's what they are. The sheep are the gullible, the weak, the naive, the ones who don't know nothing, just they looking for somebody to tell them what to do, how to do it, when to do it, where to do it. They just are kind of lost and directionless. They need someone to direct them. These are kind of often fall prey to the wolves. Now, not eaten in a literal sense, but they get in a lot of trouble because they don't know how to say no and set boundaries. And then, but the sheepdogs are the ones who are fighting off the predators, fighting off the wolves, and are protecting the weak and the innocent. So if I had a son, I would want him to be the sheepdog. I think I would be very proud of him, knowing that he's rolling in the world, doing what he can to protect those who can't protect themselves. That is the kind of thing that to me epitomizes manhood. Okay, men since time began, men know that that's their role in society is to be a protector. And unfortunately, the way things have turned these days, the men are more the predators that women need protecting from versus the ones doing the protecting. I don't know when that changed. It wasn't like that when I was a little girl, but as I became a teenager, I started seeing some evidence of it. But at this point now, it's just out of control. Once the internet came about, it was over. So the bottom line here for me, this is how I summed it up for me. Manhood in a nutshell: you got to have a strong mind, you got to have a strong body, and you have to have a strong heart. A guy with all three of those things is going to be unstoppable. Every woman's going to love him. He's going to make shit happen wherever he goes. He's going to be viewed as a strong, a leader somebody who knows how to take charge and run shit. He fixes problems. He's dependable. His mind is right. He doesn't like fall apart and emotional into a puddle and act stupid. He's gonna always make good sound decisions. His body is on point. He's his everything is working for him. His woman is happy and satisfied. She ain't saying nothing because she knows dude's putting it down. Not only is he putting it down physically, he's putting it down emotionally. She feels love. She gets attention. I mean, if a guy can epitomize all of these things, he will have the most stellar relationship and best opportunities in life that he can get because everything is going to come to him because of his strong, positive, masculine energy, his willingness to protect, his willingness to serve, and his willingness to provide. That to me is manhood. That is those are the components of a manly man. So let's talk about a little bit though something else. I need to run by you. Oh yeah, they are some bums. The guys, part of this is, the guys who don't want to pursue. Somebody mentioned that at the top of the show. One of the things that makes a guy not be manly is they don't want to pursue women. They want the women to pursue them. That's not. And you women that want to ask dudes out and all that stuff, I keep telling you, stop doing that shit. You are not the man. If your guy can't ask you out, then he's a bum and you don't want to go out with him no way. He's never going to act right. I mean, it's never going to be the kind of relationship where you get to relax into your femininity. You're going to always have to be taking the lead and directing him. That is not the kind of relationship where a woman feels loved and taken care of. And you would have started that off on the wrong foot. Don't do that. If a guy doesn't ask you out and you do your breadcrumbing like I talked about, there's two kind of breadcrumbs, the negative one and the one I talk about where you lead him like, you lead him to where you want him to go with flattery, slight light flirtation, that kind of stuff, showing interest, but you don't fix your lips to give him your number and you do not ever ask a man out. So, there's a way to do it, and you have to do it with some feminine wiles, as they call them. But, that's how you do it because you want it. For women, the turn on is feeling pursued, feeling desired. And if you got a guy that you guys got to be hunting down and begging to love you and beg you to pay attention to, that's not a manly man, at least not for you. That's not the dude for you. Now, one other thing we need to cover is the one reason why so many men uh, are having problems in those directions. Do you know how many men have low testosterone? Now, testosterone is the male hormone. Like women have estrogen, it makes our skin soft. Why we have breasts and stuff like that, menstrual cycles, all stuff. And testosterone is what makes men have more muscle mass, be get body hair, um, the size of certain things on them also dictated by that. Well, plus genetics have a hand in it as well. But when you have a man that has low testosterone, he has a lot of problems. And I'm gonna read some of these to you as soon as I find my page. I was working on this show for so long. Okay, here we go. Testosterone affects a man's appearance, his masculine appearance. So the guys that don't have much tend to have weak jawlines. They weak bodies, little narrow shoulders and stuff. That's just they know. And it stimulates sperm production. It regulates a man's eggplant drive. It helps build muscle and bone mass in men. And the range, it says the normal range is between 300 and 1200 nanograms per deciliter. And they figured it out through a blood test. And they say a guy has low T when levels fall below 350. When it's less than 300, he's really in serious trouble. Now, what is amazing is that during the teens and mid, say it's about 28, that's when men's levels of testosterone are the highest. That's when they're the horniest. That's when you should never marry them because they can't control. Well, they can, but they're just not that good at it yet. Their mind hasn't matured enough yet. You shouldn't get married to a man until he's at least in his 30s, because that once they're 30, the testosterone levels start to fall, and he's able to get more in control of himself. Um, and a recent study showed that testosterone though levels are declining have declined almost 20% globally over a 20-year period. So that's like 1% per year. And the scientists are trying to figure out why. They're attributing a lot of it to lifestyle. That, men have become very sedentary because movement, weight training and, athletics and stuff like that builds testosterone in men. So just think about what I was saying earlier about the draft being drafted. They put them through boot camp. What happens? They're exercising every day. They're getting lean and cut, and they come out with muscles. They look more, their faces change, their bodies change, and they look more manly. That's because of the exercise. So when you get a lot of guys who want to, they want to run and stuff. I mean, that's fine, but you notice how they look. Their bodies are little. They have little skinny bodies. They don't have like the musculature that a guy does who's in the gym. Now, a guy who lifts weights can also run, but I'm talking about just runners. They don't tend to have it. Now, testosterone is also impacted by things that affect the black community very heavily. Ladies, listen to this: chronic liver or kidney disease, lung diseases, COPD, asthma, any of those kind of chronic lung diseases, and pituitary gland problems, as well as having too much iron in the bloodstream. How can you get too much iron if you eat too much meat and you have, some kidney or liver issues? It's not going to be filtering the way that it should. So, the men need to eat more fruits and vegetables. That's what they need to do. And stop eating junk and stop eating so much meat, especially black men. So this is the kind of stuff, that impacts them. So how can you know if your dude has low T? Well, there's a lot of stuff online. I won't even worry about that too much. But I'll tell you, one of the things is, how we talk about men getting moobs, right? Their body fat levels rise considerably, and then they get their bodies get feminized, like they get soft looking, like in the face and stuff, and they might get pudgy hands, and they get moobs, and it's not cute. It's not sexy at all. Get a big gut. And, part of the problem is, younger and younger men are having low libido. All the letters come in the advice column, they be talking about, oh, well, my husband doesn't want to, he just has no interest in it. Well, I'm thinking they probably have low T. They probably need to go see a doctor. And what also is affected, because then they have difficulty getting it up, right? Low T is only part of the problem, because then he returned to stuff that's all over the black community: high blood pressure, thyroid issues, diabetes, high cholesterol, smoking, cigarettes, pipes, cigars, drugs, all the same, drug or alcohol use, being depressed, high levels of stress, which of course black people have because we have to deal with racism and the economic disparities of everything, and anxiety. So when you look at black men, a lot of them will have these problems, right? Some of it they can't really control. It's beyond their control. But that's not the point of this. The point is to talk about when you see, if you with a man and he has these signs, make his ass go to a doctor, because they have treatment for it. I mean, they have, they can take pills or whatever. But you can also, they will recommend the dietary changes and exercise, and that will probably take care of most of it. Vitamin D is one, zinc, and eating more nuts and beans help with those problems too. It help create more testosterone. But a lot of men don't eat nuts and they don't eat beans. So, yeah, a poor diet, man, it seems like it wreaks havoc more on male bodies than it does on females. They need protein, but most people eat too much protein, Sinead. Nobody needs hundreds of grams of protein every day. It's based on your weight, how much you need, and your activity level. So, you only need like a 4 to 6 ounce serving of meat if you're gonna have that kind of protein. People be sitting down having 8 ounce steaks and half a meatloaf and half a chicken and all this kind of stuff. That's way too much protein, way too much, and that's very hard on your kidneys. So you have all that meat eating in the black community, and people got all that kidney failure. It's dialysis centers on the black community on just about every fucking corner, but they're high, they're hidden. They don't have signs on them, but that's what it is. You see people going in there looking all toe up. That's why they're going in there. So you got these men, they have those kind of problems. So all in all, um, summing up my list, what are we looking for in men? We're looking for them to step up and initiate. We're looking for them to demonstrate honor and respect. We're looking for them to demonstrate high levels of responsibility, integrity, courage. You want to see a man that's on his grind. He's trying to make some shit happen. He's a high levels of protective spirit to those who are smaller, younger, and weaker than he is. He pursues and then he partners with the woman. Okay. That is how it's proven socially that married men make more money, they're happier, they live longer. The point is, though, to make sure that you treat your woman right so you have a happy marriage. Okay, then you'll live a long, happy life. She'll take care of you. You want to have a man who's willing to be of service to other people, okay, not just to himself. He goes outside of himself to better the community, to better other people's families, to just be a man that everybody can admire and look at like, he's that dude. He's that dude. And you want a guy who's got a strong sense of autonomy. That means independence. He's self motivating. He's a self starter. That's what they call it on jobs. You don't need to be behind him. Yo, baby, you can do it. You can do it, baby. Oh, yeah, you're that. Ooh, Hercules, Hercules. You got a man like that, he's a wuss. He can't do shit by himself. He needs, you to be back there pushing him. That gets exhausting, ladies. I'm telling you. And you won't have time for yourself because you're too busy giving it all to him. That's not the kind of man that you want to have, and it definitely does not qualify as a manly man. One lady I talked to said, it's really sad because most of the guys I've run into lately are very disappointing as they don't meet those kind of standards of manhood. And I understand that. I understand that they've been able to get away with this. Um, Women, because of the fact that no one is telling them about what manhood is, are allowing these donkey butts to come into their life, come into their homes, impregnate them, and then abandon them and the child. That is why you should guard your fertility with everything that you have. Don't you be having no knuckleheads baby. Don't do that. If women stop doing that, man, we could turn this problem around in just one generation because every woman would be like having leg lock. If you ain't got no job, you ain't got no sense, and you ain't got no money. You don't got no courage, you don't have no integrity, and you lie. You don't get nothing here, son. There's nothing for you. Get your shit straight. And then somebody might want to talk to you. Okay? That's the key here. Well, we don't know that. Like I said, some of it, Sinead, is health issues. And it doesn't really have anything to do with where they've been, who they've been screwing and all of that. Because, women be screwing too. You don't see us having all these low hormone problems, but women tend to take better care of themselves. I mean, if we get a problem, we go to the doctor. Men think they could just like brush it off, and so they could have something that could be have been easily cured, but they sit around and wait for 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, and now it's a chronic problem that's beyond repair. It's just that's just it right now because you waited to get a medical diagnosis and start treatment. A lot of problems that black men and all men really suffer could be corrected with diet. Diet, it really what you put in your body is a huge contributor to your appearance as well as your health. So I don't know what else to say, but I hope this is informational for you. I hope that you guys really got something out of it. Those of you who, like I said, are raising sons or you're dating, I'll use this as a plan for what to look for. You got sons you raising. Look at this as a way for you to have a checklist of what kind of things you should be instilling in your sons, what kind of values and morals and direction they should be getting so that they don't grow up to be frog boys. We don't need no more of them out here. There's just way too many now. Do everything you can to prevent your son from coming up like that. Stop doing stuff for them. Make him do it himself. Make him stand on his own 2 feet like a man should. Stop babying them. Don't you dare give him no money. He's 16 years old and he wants some money. Get your ass out there and get a job. You can work at a fast food place. 17 like that. No, mama, you don't get no money from mama. See, now that's like a pimp move. You know, what you gonna be the bottom bitch now? You don't give sons money when they're a teenager. You don't do that. That's a bad, bad move, bad mentality. And but see, a lot of women never think of it that way. They're like, "Oh, well, that's my baby. Dad, your baby got pubic hair," and like is trying to call himself having a sex life. Okay, he ain't a baby no more. He's doing man things. He's doing man things. He need to have man responsibilities, which is a job, which is clean up this house. You got some chores. You're gonna be talking about being somebody's daddy. You need to learn how to do some dishes and clean, do laundry, and do everything else, which really you should have been teaching them, from the age of like 9 or 10. Stop doing everything for these dusty butt boys. They gonna supposed to be, raising them to be collective. I mean, decent citizens of the nation and of the community, and you doing everything for them. They don't know how to do shit, and they just useless as hell. I hate to see men like that. Yeah, they need to man up. Drink some carrot juice or something. Do something. Get some vegetables in you. These men be talking about they haven't eaten a vegetable since last week. The only fruit that they have is orange juice. That's a very bad diet. That's a very, very, very bad diet. So I hope you guys, learn something from this. If you have questions about this topic, please feel free to post them under the video. If you are not a subscriber to this channel, please hit that subscription button and the instant notification bell so you can get notices when I decide to just, pop up. This show was scheduled, but sometimes I just sit down and log on and just do a live stream just off the top of my head. And so if you're not a subscriber with that instant notification bell, click, you gonna miss out. And it's always a good time here. I think I have some of the best content on YouTube. I don't know why I don't have more subscribers, but whatever. It is what it is. We just gonna keep plugging along, doing our thing. So I'm gonna try to hop up in here sometime this weekend. I got some more interviews to do for my relationship drama with a narcissist series. I got 2 interviews scheduled tomorrow, and then try editing and getting those up, and then we'll try to figure out if I could do something on Sunday, maybe, maybe not. But I'll definitely be here on Tuesday with the next What the Fuck Tuesday. If you have a relationship advice question that you'd like to get answered on that show or a future one, go down to the show description below, click that link that says Get Advice, fill out the form, and submit your advice question. That's for What the Fuck Tuesday. But thank everybody for all the super chat donations. You guys are great, very generous today. Thank you very much. Lady Boss, you the shit, always holding it down. That's my girl. And all my usual and customary folks in here, we couldn't do it without you. I'll see you guys out real soon. Love you. Bye bye.